Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Cleveland Browns. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Here we go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. And even 20 yards and a first down on the game's very first play. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Amani Hooker, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. It's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. This defense for the Vikings, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
This is caught. It's Cooks. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Brandon Cooks with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others. And the Browns use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kirby Joseph, and the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
But they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive. But some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well. Throwing again on second down. Mahomes.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Shotgun snap to Mahomes.
He'll drop this one down to Mixon.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. And Johnson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hand.
Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. Picked off by Kirby Joseph.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Johnson for the extra point try.
He's got it, and it's 17-0.
So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. Looking to throw. He'll buy some time right. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays that we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
He sets to fire deep. And this one is incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken on the 25. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They've been off to the races already. A 17-0 lead. Now a chance for more here as they've got it 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
To throw again on second down, Mahomes.
He's going to try and go deep again. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They had points on their first two possessions, a touchdown and a field goal, but this time defense stands strong.
Would you say that things maybe are trending now in the right direction for them?
Better than drives 1 and 2.
There's no doubt about it. Now maybe they can exhale a little bit, gather themselves, and really get back into this game.
That's fielded at the 8-yard line. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way, because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 32-yard. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Amani Hooker. And the Browns are going to have it here just past the 25.
Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question, because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They give up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a fourth down.
Mahomes going to go on fourth down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Quite a decision there on fourth down. They didn't just want the first. They wanted 6 points. And following the interception, they're going to come away with neither.
And that's too bad, partner, because they really went for it on that one, right? Because I think in their mind, sometimes the illogical play is a logical play. But in this case, they were wrong.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Let's go.
He'll look to throw. And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Browns will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent.
Mixon hit, and the ball is out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. That is caught. It's Uzomah. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And yet again, he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by this Vikings defense. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Vision and speed, 2 of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Touchdown!
Joe Mixon
with career touchdown number 125, moving him into a tie with Walter Payton on the all-time list.
And the Browns continue to pull away here this first half. And Johnson's extra point up and good.
And a rout is on here in this first half. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because
he's got a man complete.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes.
That's going to be caught downfield by Mooney.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Darnell Mooney.
His 14th touchdown now on the year.
And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. And Johnson's extra point up and good.
And the rout is on here in this first half. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
But this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
Working the sideline here. Did he get the feet in? Yes, they say that he did. Nice job tapping both of them down.
The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Lavonte David. It's a foot race. 30, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Browns drive about to get started.
They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles, and I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the third quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Go, baby.
Mahomes now to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Mahomes going to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Kyle Pitts
from 8 yards out. And the Vikings are able to claw one back.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to lead his guys out there. They'll go for 2. Ritter will throw for it.
And this is caught, so they do get the 2. Still a very large deficit, but maybe something to feel a little better about.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And got his man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland.
Now now for the PAT. Here's Johnson.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This take it in at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But
he's got a man complete.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Back to throw now on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They go play action here on first down. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that. And they force another incompletion.
And now here's another interception. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career. But when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Throwing now is Mahomes. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
So a great play there for this highly regarded linebacker making his first career sack.
And his versatility on display right there. Look, we've known him primarily as a tackler and a cover man, but he can go get the quarterback when the situation calls for it, as he just did right there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Field goal unit and Brian Johnson out there.
He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out.
And Johnson's kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they...
And my goodness, another interception.
picked off by Kirby Joseph. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football.
Yes, folks, that is his third interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. C.J. Uzomah, 30 yards.
And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call.
And they'll accept that penalty.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And not a good return here at all, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Lavonte David. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
Johnson for the extra point try.
And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first. They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
That is caught, Rashad Bateman.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. Flush to his right.
He'll find Bateman once more.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Let's go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown.
James Cook
from 8 yards out.
And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
They'll try and throw for it. Toward toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Mahomes now on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. Well, he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The Browns on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continues.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Brandon Cook. With touchdown number 3 here in this game, and 17 now on the year.
And the Browns add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And Johnson's extra point up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
He's going to wind up and air it out.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Lavonte David. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Mahomes now on first down. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Brandon Cooks with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list. And the Browns are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here we go. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that